So, you ever have those mornings where you just wake up and you feel like
Want to cuss
you want to cuss,
on the first video? Why can't I cuss on the first video?
Or you just want to record a video
And cuss on it.
and cuss. I wanted to record a video. Actually, Jennifer wanted to record a video today. I wanted to be a part of it, and now she wants to cuss.
No, I don't want to cuss. I just said, is it okay if I cuss? And you said, not on the first video.
Yeah, hell no, you can't cuss on the first video. No.
Thank you. Good
Right.
morning.
Good morning. This is us.
This is us.
Yeah.
Why are we here? Because the coronavirus, yo.
Yeah. We're all holed up in the house. Can't go nowhere. Can't do anything. We got plenty of toilet paper. But
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. So what are we going to do with ourselves today? Lots of options, but this is ours.
The truth is, that's part of it.
Part of it.
The truth is a couple things. One, as a counselor, I'm not coming here as your expert, but I am coming as a noticer. And what I know is, man, there is mass fear and mass anxiety, mass hysteria and craziness.
Yeah, a lot.
There was no meat at all at Kroger. Like, no meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know who's barbecuing, but I'm coming to your house. You got all the meat. I'm coming.
Whoever you are with all the meat,
Because it's not here. We don't have it.
call us.
But as a counselor, I watch these things and I see the fear that's there every day, the anxiety that's there every day. And I want people to know that anything that you had going on in your life that was uneasy, that was stressful, that was hard, that was a challenge, that was mood issue, relational issues, the coronavirus has just magnified it. Major. Not just because it's a fearful thing and now we've got fear on top of fear or anxiety on top of anxiety, but because we've really been forced to slow down. And we've been forced in the room with our loved ones. And sometimes they're the ones that trigger our anxiety. Trigger our fear.
I know, right? Sometimes we don't want to admit that.
Yeah.
That we think, it's the right thing to say is that, we get to spend family time and things like that. And sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes those people get on your nerves. But now we don't have a choice. So now
That's right.
We're here, we're in it. And I think for us, it actually means a lot to us now, where we are in our relationship, that we get to, just because of our life in the last year or so. We've had a lot of different things we've been through. And so us personally, we were trying to think of different things to do and different ways to approach our lives this year anyway. And while we've been doing that, this still takes it another step further and really forces us again to look at, okay, well, how are we going to interact with each other? How are we going to connect? How are we going to do the kinds of things that enhance our relationship rather than hurt it?
Yeah. And if this would have happened to us a year ago, it would have been so painful because we didn't want to be in the room together. Yeah. And when we were, all those hurts were there and all those walls were there. And so I just want to kind of normalize that.
Yeah.
That we could say, just like you said earlier, we could say, oh, it's great. We got all this family time. We have this opportunity. But the truth is there's this undercurrent of some of us are disconnected because we want to be. We don't know how to connect with one another, especially when there's been hurt there. There's resentment. There's distrust. And so I just want to say that some of your fear, some of your anxiety, some of your wanting this to just be over isn't just about the craziness that's happening outside our homes. Sometimes it's what's going on in your home too.
Yeah, it's more than just worried about getting sick or not getting sick. Because when we're forced kind of in the presence of people where there are things like lack of connection or hurts, then it's like Jennifer said, it's only going to amplify that. And so some of the anxiety that we feel a lot of times, that you may feel, that I know that we have felt, is just amplified of what was already there.
It's deeper things that are going on.
Yeah, well, we've been able to run to work or run to whatever we do.
To avoid
or not face it or things like that.
To fill our life with fun,
Yeah.
To fill our life with things that we know we can be productive in, because being productive and having fun and connecting in your relationship isn't always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
We don't know how sometimes. And so, man, we've got something that was handed to us that we had no choice about. I mean, truly, all the decisions about our lives have been handed to us worldwide.
Yeah, this is the whole world. We're
Yeah.
in this together. I know they keep saying that, yeah, but good Lord.
But that's part of the problem. We're in it together, and some people don't
Yeah.
want to be together.
Now we don't know what to do with our hands.
But I think that we could look at this as, okay, we didn't have a choice. The decisions have been made. We had several events that we had planned over the weekend that are just gone now. And so what is the gift that's here? And sometimes it truly is a gift, but it's a little difficult at first.
It is. Well, that's where I started. I was just mad. I was so mad because we had things planned. And part of us restructuring our relationship, and just so you'll know, we've been married almost 21 years. And
It's a long time.
it's a long time. And so for us to get to the point last year where it's like we didn't even want to be in the room together, that's hard to say out loud for one thing, but it's the truth. And so this is not about posting some sort of happy moment or something in our life. It's as a result of kind of, we've had to work through a lot of stuff. But this weekend, what I was saying is that I started off just angry because we had specifically planned things for this weekend for our family that were fun, that were going to be different things that we could do to help us connect and bond as a family, and that was ripped away. And so that's where I started. It wasn't just about that, I couldn't go to work or, there's no toilet paper or things like that. It was like, dadgummit, I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to be a better dad. I'm trying to be a better husband and do some things specifically and intentionally to connect with my family. And now the stupid coronavirus come in here and messing it all up. I got time for that.
And I'm over here going, hey, all those people that you want to connect with, we're still here. We're right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're right here. I'm here.
Aha moment. Insight. Hey, girl.
I'm here. We're here. But it can be harder when we don't have those events to connect around where they're structured for us and figure out what to do. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was all like, okay, we got family time. Here we go. And we're all going to watch movies and we're going to play games. We might take the dog for a walk because, we can still go outside. And then at dinner last night, our kids were fussing and fighting and arguing back and forth. And I was like,
Dadgummit.
I think I said, stop that crap.
You people.
We're going to get along this weekend.
You people, we're going to get along.
We're going to get along and we're going to have fun and you're going to like each other. And I was like, me. But actually, they took me seriously. I think I got a hug from that later, too. So we're just saying that if this is hard for you, it's hard for other reasons. Yeah. And we want you to be aware of those and notice that.
And I think for me, and part of my process was, and this is what I'm learning to do for me personally, is that try to pay attention to things that make me angry and make me mad, and then ask and go, well, why is that? And I think for me, this is just me personally, I would rather, I don't know, maybe not admit the reality of things or avoid it or just hope that it goes away and then just keep my head down and keep going. And that has not worked out for me my whole entire life. I've tried to do that so many times. And so with the coronavirus, yes, I was angry. And then I was like, okay, I get to the point where I just have to deal with the reality of this is a real thing. And I'm going to have to do something different. That life as usual is just not going to be the way that it works right now. And so I have to make different choices. And so that was for me, I had to go through that. Okay, yes, I'm angry. And then go, okay, this is reality. Now what am I going to do? I can do something different.
Yeah, and I think that make different choices is really important because as we're doing new things, it feels awkward. If you haven't gone over and sat beside your spouse on the couch in months, then it's going to be awkward the first time you move in that direction. And you know what? You have the risk that they won't receive you. And so if we think about it, what's actually going on and that's a real possibility, then there's risk involved. It's awkward. You might not be received, but that's the opportunity that lies before us. It's the chance that we all have.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a big chance. But we do have to accept it as that and kind of flip our thinking into oh, and this is a chance, this is an opportunity. Because quite honestly, most of the things for me that I would do in my life, and this is part of my process this year, is trying to cut out some stuff that's really not important, or it's not getting me where I want to go. And for me to have this time forced on me of, okay, well, if this is really what I want to do, if I'm really serious about doing some things different or refocusing some things, letting go of some stuff that I do that aren't really necessary, this is a good opportunity for me to really think about those things and do some different things. Not just think about them, but do some different things.
And I think part of the reason why I wanted us to come on is because...
Hey, we're awesome.
Is because, you know, especially even as a counselor, I want to encourage people, I want to reach people, I want them to know, hey, the struggle that you're feeling right now, there's more to it than what you think. But also I wanted to reveal our own struggle and that I don't have it all together. There were a couple of times yesterday when I was like, oh, if I could pull the people close, this is what I would say. And if I could pull the people close, this is what I could say. And I want to pull the people close. I mean, the social isolation thing, like, it's hard for my heart. But then I would kind of hesitate and push it back because I thought, well, I'm struggling too. Mm-hmm. And y'all, that's just because I'm human. And I've seen different memes and things like that where it's all polished up and pretty and almost even preachy. And we definitely don't want to come across that way. And so I feel like my point today is we've had something forced on us, but there is possibly a gift here for you. Yeah. And that gift isn't going to just unwrap and be like, this is the thing that I've always wanted and it's perfect and it fits perfect and I love it. And it's going to be a gift that at first is a little awkward. It's like, okay, like really wasn't wanting that right now. And I don't know. And that wasn't on my list. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's going to fit. And I don't know if I like that color. And it's okay for it to be awkward. It's okay to make the first move. I get a newsletter every day from Seth Godin, and his was so good today and so simple. And he said, people react, and we've seen the crazies that have reacted. That's why all the toilet paper's gone. People can respond, and that is certainly more thoughtful and more wise and more prudent. But we have another option to us. We can initiate. And so I think that's what I want to encourage people to do is to initiate and know that it's going to feel awkward. You're going to have hesitation, and you should. If your relationships are strained, then it should feel awkward. You should have fear. You should worry about rejection. That's appropriate. But we can choose to not let those things keep us from doing it.
Yeah, I think for me, that's been the key for me in making things different is that initiate part. I don't want to downplay the hard and the awkward because that is real. When you experience that, when something like this forces you to be something else or do something else, it's easy to get caught up in what you're just mad about and what you're losing. But then you have to come to the point where, okay, even if you're responsible and you're doing the right thing, you can still be mad. I am a lot of times because, okay, well, I'm doing the right thing. Why am I so mad? Because I'm still mad about the things I don't get to do. And so then there's the opportunity for me to take it a step further, which is often where I struggle in initiating. I would almost just rather sit in the anger and just be mad about, what I can't do and post a Bible verse about how I can depend on God, which is good.
We do that, by the way.
Which is good. It's good. But there's a next step of, okay, I know God's in control. I know that He's over everything. And this will not be forever. But in the meantime, what do I do with myself to live in reflection of that, of what I already know? And that is the hard part for me of initiating, of doing something different. That's a big struggle for me.
Well, and I think what you're talking about is connecting in your head, whether that's with one another, we connect intellectually in our head and we talk about thoughts and ideas, or even with the Bible, we connect in our head with it. We go, okay, renew my mind, don't have fear. I need to put that in here, but sometimes it actually didn't help because we're not putting it in our heart. And I think that's what we're trying to say today is God gave us each other, real live people, and we need those heart-to-heart connections to help move what we know here into what we know that we know. And so I can hear some people maybe even saying, well, you know what, I tried to connect, I tried to have a conversation, and it didn't go so well. And they just kind of fell flat, and I couldn't get them, him, her, out of their phone. And you know what? Don't give up.
We've done that, by the way.
Don't give up. You know, we have behind us our Henry, move to the side a little bit, our Henry family, some of our mottos, some of our sayings. And one of the biggest ones on here is never give up. And we have been at that place where giving up was the only thing we felt like we had left to do. Yeah. But you can always keep trying. You can always start over, even in what you're trying to do. If, hey, I'm trying to talk to you and want to connect with you. Well, let's go to the deeper layer on that. Why? Mm-hmm. Well, because I love you and I've missed you. And I do feel a little fearful, but when you're with me and we're connecting, I feel a little less fearful. And I feel like, okay, if we're together, we can go through this, even if it is a month, side by side. I don't know what your deeper reason may be, but I believe you have deeper reasons, and they're good, but sometimes they're hard to get to.
Yeah, I think so. And I think there's also, for me, there was just a lot of misinterpretation. I think when you would approach me wanting to connect, what I would hear would be criticism. But that wasn't what it was. I would only hear the words or feel really the emotion, desperation, I would almost say, in wanting to connect. I would miss her heart. I would miss what she was really saying. It was not the words. It was not even the tone. It was, hey, I want to connect with you. I want to connect with you. But I would only hear the words and think,
you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
I'm
not
doing it
anything.
right, or I'm not doing anything, or, whatever that was. And so part of this being able to slow down for us has been able to hear past the words, to hear past what we're trying to say, but understand the motivation behind it, which is, I love you, I want to connect with you. How can we do that? Mm-hmm. And for me, that was just a big challenge for me to quit hearing those things and understand that, oh yeah, she does love me. She's been married to me for 20 years. That's a long time. Surely she doesn't want to hurt me. Surely she's not out to get me. Sometimes, maybe.
Not all the times.
Not all the times, which sometimes I don't mind.
And you know what? We have times when we need to disconnect. Every person needs to withdraw, regroup, listen to your thoughts and notice what's going on with you. But the coronavirus is about social isolation, but we don't have to be socially isolated in our homes. Yeah. And in our hearts. And so we just want to give it a try. And you know what? We're on the front end of this. This is kind of like day one. Yeah. And we might really struggle.
Yeah, we don't know. We're going to, I guess, vlog it?
No, I don't know.
Maybe
I'm not making any promises.
But anyway, we definitely wanted to say something today because we feel you. We know that this whole thing has been forced on all of us. And we're talking about the ways that it's a struggle for us. And probably it's a struggle for, well, we know it is. It's a struggle for everybody because this is a whole different way of life. And so how do we navigate this? How do we get through it? How do we initiate? And in the presence of the people that are the closest to us that we love the most, but there are also things that we have to work through.
Yeah. And I can give you an example. I'm not really a TV movie watcher. I know that may isolate me from the average person, but it's just not who I am. And so it's really hard, even with my family, to sit down and watch a movie. And our daughter has been so into sports. Football and baseball is her life. And so we had been talking for a couple of weeks, just like, what are the good old school football movies and baseball movies like Field of Dreams and Remember the Titans and those really good movies. I was like, I've never seen Remember the Titans. Like, I know it's about football and I know it's about like friendship, but
you cannot remember them unless you see them.
I didn't know what it's about. So we forced, and we had to force. Like our 10-year-old was like, I'm bored, I don't want to do this. I'm like, you're doing this.
I don't like football.
Get in the chair, you're watching the movie. And we watch it, and I realized that this movie's about race. And it's about overcoming your obstacles and your pride and working together and humility and tragedy and love. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is so good. And we had some talk with our son who's trying to understand, like, what? I don't, like, why are they treating each other this way? What's going on? You know, and
Right.
It was just something that I had to be open to. And I was really glad that I did, but it's really not the thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we're just encouraging you to get out of your comfort zone and try some things, and know that if this time is hard for you, it's hard for more reasons than just your plans got canceled and everybody's crazy out there. It's bringing up some undercurrents that have been going on inside of you for probably a while, either in your marriage or in your own personal life, some anxiety that you've had. It's magnifying that and it's bringing it to the surface. And we don't have to just push it away. We can maybe do some new things with it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I would say maybe you should watch Remember the Titans, because it's all about that. These are two groups of guys that were forced together. They had no choice. And all of the undercurrents, whether it be race or misunderstanding or whatever, all comes out. And they have to learn how to deal with that. And anytime groups of people or individuals are forced together, then those kinds of things are going to come out. And I think it's just a good example of that's life, and we do have to understand how to deal with those things, and you got to kind of work through it. And it's not always easy. It can be extremely difficult, but it's worth it. It's worth it because that's really what we're wired for. And you hear everybody right now is really talking about how we're wired for connection. And we miss that because we're so disconnected from everything, because we're wired to our phones or we're wired to technology or whatever. And it's a disruption in really how we're really wired, which is to connect with each other.
There's going to be a lot of connection. We're going to have coronavirus babies in 9 months.
No doubt. Oh,
well, we're not, because we're past that age.
No, I'm too old, bro. Not going to happen.
So maybe just let us know, like, is this something you've been struggling with? Is this something you notice? Have you got anxiety because you might be forced with that person that you kind of don't want to hang out with, and you don't know what to do, and you don't want to have these feelings of rejection or these feelings of, what is the state of my marriage? What is the state of my relationship with my teenager? How do I connect with them? And let's get past the crazy hysteria and look at the opportunity that's here within the walls of our own home.
Yeah. So I would say thank you for watching. And if this resonates with you, let us know. If there's something specific that you would like us to say or talk about.
We might not do that.
We might not do that, but you can let us know. We'd love to hear it.
Later.
Have a good day.